We are going to present alternative policies, well captured and articulated in our manifesto, and we're going to do so without fear or favor. We're going to bring very cogent arguments on why certain things need to be done in a manner proposed in the 7 cardinal pillars of the EFF and the manifesto of the EFF. We are the only organization in Parliament that proposes alternative policy, and in most cases ANC reject it and then go and bring it through a backdoor. And we never complain about that, because we celebrate the fact that they are admiring the ideas of the EFF. So robustness, alternative proposals by the EFF, making sure that the issues of the working class are firmly put on the table and are discussed by Parliament.
And will your members continue to take the work of committees seriously?
We take the work of committees seriously. Most of our members now, they are doing oversight visits as part of their committee work. We participate fully in the committees. The EFF will be restructuring its deployment to committees based on the previous experience and political development within the organization to deploy the best capacity in the relevant committees to ensure that those skills are better utilized where we think this fighter will make a positive contribution. So, and that's where we make very substantive points in Parliament, and that's why we like committees. All of us, we participate. We did that in the past. We're going to do that even now. And members of the EFF are now going to be registering, signing a roll call, attendance register, both for committees and for Parliament as well. In the committees, they are going to be deployed with a researcher who's going to make sure they register, they register the attendance register, they sign the attendance register, and they account for their whereabouts if they do not participate in the committees. That's how we take the work of Parliament serious.
The issue of eNCA technically is no longer before Parliament. Will you try and bring it back to Parliament?
The issue of eNCA is an issue of accountability, and therefore you can't say accountability is off the table of Parliament. eNCA is permanently on the table of Parliament until the man pays back the money. It's an issue of national importance. It has got to do with anti-corruption, and therefore the work of Parliament should be anti-corruption and accountability. And for as long as Zuma has not been held fully accountable for the money spent at eNCA, that matter will never be off Parliament.
And then just finally, we've heard from the religious leaders that they've been trying to sort of intervene to try and get the parties in Parliament to sort of agree to some kind of truce. But it doesn't sound like good progress is being made from the conversation we just had. How positive is that work that has been happening?
Well, I think they are better placed to give an account about that. We welcome the intervention by anyone, particularly by religious leaders. They've played a very important role during the struggle. They've managed to highlight internationally the sufferings of our people, including the violation of human rights by apartheid at that time. And therefore, even now, if they suspect things are not going well, it is well within their rights to come and intervene. We have met with them. We have told them we welcome their intervention, and we're more than willing to cooperate. Remember, the EFF is not a problem here. The problem is the ANC, which suffers from majority arrogance, and the speaker who has taken a political side and always using her political affiliation to cloud her judgment. And the EFF has been saying, let us make this Parliament the Parliament of the people. Let us make this Parliament to be a true reflection of multi-party democracy. Let us make this Parliament to be accessible where all, even those who want smallest numbers, will feel that indeed they are welcomed to participate in strengthening democracy in South Africa. That's all we've been calling for. And that's why when Cyril Ramaphosa intervened and came with some a peace accord, we were the first ones to say, this is the best of the best, and we'll work according to it. And when the DA decided to break the spirit of that peace accord, we were the first ones to stand up in Parliament and say, we don't think the DA's attitude helps us to restore order and discipline in this Parliament. So this is the organization that is committed to make sure that the Parliament operates orderly, the decorum of Parliament is restored, and there is a respect for each other. But that does not replace the robustness in Parliament. Even the pastors were told that whatever method you're trying to come up with, as long as it doesn't undermine the work we're elected for, which is to hold the executive accountable, which is to make Parliament an activist Parliament, a robust Parliament, which everyone who think of going to should think twice, because that's where you are held accountable. So all that intervention is welcomed.